Would you drink a soda if Europe said it wasn't safe for kids? Because we do. Every single day, bright colors, sweet flavors, hidden ingredients banned overseas. These 6 sodas are in millions of American homes, and Europe doesn't allow them at all. Soda feels simple. You pop the top, take a sip, and move on. But did you know the CDC reports that more than half of Americans drink at least one sugary beverage every single day? That means most families have soda in their fridge right now. The real question is, what's actually inside those bottles? Because here's the part that shocks people. Some of the exact same sodas we drink daily in the US are restricted or banned in Europe. Why? Additives, dyes, and preservatives that American companies are still allowed to use here. That's why you'll sometimes hear it framed as sodas that are banned in Europe but still on US shelves, or even as a warning about American sodas that Europe doesn't allow. However you put it, the point is the same. These aren't fringe drinks. These are the biggest names, the ones families trust, the ones you've probably had at your last cookout. And that's what we do here on BizWorld Explorer. Uncovering the hidden truths behind everyday food brands so you know what's safe to eat and what could be secretly putting you at risk if you want to know the truth about what's in your glass and keep your family safer. Make sure to subscribe now because we post new investigations every single day. So, let's dive in and look at the sodas themselves. Brand number 1, Mountain Dew. If there's one soda that stands out just by color, it's Mountain Dew. That neon green bottle has become a symbol of energy, gaming culture, and late-night snacks. People trust it because it feels fun, bold, and exciting. For decades, it's been marketed as the drink that fuels adrenaline, whether that's in sports, video games, or just getting through a long day. That trust is why it's a staple in so many homes. But what most people don't realize is that Mountain Dew has been at the center of health concerns that Europe treats very differently from the US. Here's the first problem: the color. Mountain Dew gets its signature bright look from Yellow 5 and Yellow 6, 2 artificial food dyes. In the US, they're still widely used, but in Europe, they come with warning labels, and in some countries, products containing them are restricted outright. Studies have linked these dyes to hyperactivity and behavioral issues in children. While regulators in the US allow them, European authorities apply what's called the precautionary principle, meaning if there's a possible risk, they'd rather limit it than wait for long-term proof. Mountain Dew once contained BVO, brominated vegetable oil, an additive used to keep flavors mixed. The issue? BVO contains bromine, the same element found in flame retardants. Research raised concerns about its effects on thyroid function, memory, and fertility. The FDA faced petitions to ban it, and while PepsiCo eventually removed BVO from most products, Europe never allowed it in the first place. Sugar is another concern. A single 20-ounce bottle of Mountain Dew packs about 77 grams of sugar, nearly double the American Heart Association's daily limit. The CDC links that kind of regular intake to obesity, type 2 diabetes, and heart disease. Families who see it as just another soda may not realize the long-term risks. So who's most at risk? Kids and teens are especially vulnerable. They're drawn in by the bright color and bold branding, but they're also the most sensitive to high sugar and artificial dyes. Adults who drink it daily for energy face long-term health concerns too, especially those already dealing with blood sugar or heart issues. What's the safer swap? If it's the citrus kick you love, try sparkling water flavored with real lemon or lime. Brands now offer zero-calorie options with natural flavors that give you the same refreshing feel without the additives or sugar overload. Even better, Some smaller craft sodas use cane sugar and natural coloring, which may cost a little more but avoid the dyes that Europe has flagged. Mountain Dew shows us how something as simple as color can carry big consequences. And it's not the only drink where the US and Europe see things differently. In fact, one of the world's most popular orange sodas has its own set of banned ingredients. Brand number 2, Fanta, Orange. Orange soda feels friendly. Bright label. Fun bubbles. A flavor kids ask for by name. That's exactly why Fanta Orange is a staple at parties and movie nights. It feels lighter than cola, and it carries a fruit image. But once you look past the orange color, the story changes. First, the color itself. In the US, many orange sodas, including Fanta, have used artificial dyes like yellow 6 and red 40 to get that vivid look. In Europe, those dyes face tighter rules. Several EU countries require warning labels on products with certain synthetic colors because of possible effects on attention and behavior in children. That push led many European versions of orange soda to switch to natural colors like beta-carotene or paprika extract. Same brand name, very different approach. In short, the bright orange you see here often isn't the same orange used there. Then there's the sweetness. Orange soda has long been seen as a lighter choice than cola, but the sugar load tells another story. US bottles and cans can pack a heavy hit of added sugar. Europe, especially places with sugar taxes, pushed brands to lower sugar or offer reduced sugar formulas. So, when you compare labels, the US version often has more sugar than what you'd find across the Atlantic. The CDC links frequent sugary drink intake to higher risks of weight gain, type 2 diabetes, and heart issues over time. It's not about one sip, it's about the habit. Preservatives matter, too. Some orange sodas pair dyes with preservatives like sodium benzoate. On its own, it's an approved preservative. But European rules keep a closer eye on how additives interact. That pressure has pushed more European recipes to simplify. Fewer artificial colors, tighter sugar targets, and, when possible, cleaner labels. Who's most at risk? Kids and families who see orange soda as a fruit drink and keep it in the fridge. Frequent sippers who reach for it daily without reading the fine print. And anyone trying to manage blood sugar, heart health, or weight. If that's you, talk with your doctor about what's right for your situation. So, what are safer swaps that still feel fun? If you still want that orange pop without the risks, there are some simple swaps. A sparkling water with a squeeze of fresh orange or a splash of 100% juice gives the same citrus kick without the heavy sugar or dyes. Some brands now color their sodas with natural sources, like beta-carotene, turmeric, or paprika extract, instead of red 40 or yellow 6, so checking labels can make a big difference. And if sugar is the concern, reduced sugar or no sugar versions often taste closer to the classic than you'd expect. Even at parties or game nights, you can mix half orange soda with plain seltzer to cut both sugar and artificial colors while still keeping the fun vibe. Fanta Orange proves something simple. Fruit flavor doesn't always mean fruit choices. The color can come from a lab. The sweetness can add up fast. Labels tell the truth, if we read them. And if orange soda isn't as clean as it looks, what about the classic colas everyone trusts? Up next, we're looking at how caramel coloring shows up in one of America's biggest names, and why Europe handles it differently. Do you still trust fruit sodas after this? Share your thoughts in the comments. Brand number 3, Pepsi. Pepsi feels classic. It's in stadiums, diners, lunchrooms, everywhere. People grab it because it's familiar. It tastes the same at a ball game as it does at home. That trust is powerful. But when you look at what gives Pepsi its deep brown color and sweet bite, you see why Europe and the US treat some parts of this formula differently. Start with the color. Many big colas, including Pepsi, use caramel color made by heating sugars with ammonia compounds. That process can create a byproduct called 4-methylimidazole. In the US, caramel color is allowed, and Pepsi can use it if it meets federal rules. In Europe, regulators push for stricter limits on 4-MEI and keep closer watch on how much ends up in the final drink. Same idea, brown cola, very different guardrails. Over the years, pressure from consumer groups and state rules in the US also pushed brands to lower 4-MEI in their products. The message is simple. Color shouldn't carry extra risk. Then there's the sweet side. A standard 20-ounce bottle of regular cola can pack a heavy load of added sugar. The CDC links frequent sugary drink intake with higher risks of weight gain, type 2 diabetes, and heart problems over time. One bottle isn't the story. The habit is, if Pepsi is your daily pick-me-up, that sugar adds up fast. Some European markets, helped by sugar taxes and reformulation targets, sell lower sugar versions. In the US, you'll often find the higher sugar formula on the shelf unless you choose a zero or diet option. Acidity matters too. Colas use phosphoric acid for tang. It's approved, but if you're watching tooth enamel or your doctor has you monitoring bone or kidney health, pay attention to total cola intake. Some Pepsi varieties may also include sodium benzoate as a preservative, more common in diet versions. It's allowed in both the US and EU, but Europe keeps a close eye on how preservatives and other ingredients interact. That extra scrutiny has nudged many European recipes to keep additives tighter. Who's most at risk? People who drink cola daily without thinking about sugar or acidity? Families who keep multi-packs in the fridge for easy reach? Anyone trying to manage blood sugar, weight, or heart health? If that sounds like you, talk with your doctor about what's right for your situation, especially if cola is part of your routine. So what's a safer swap if you love the cola taste? A safer way to enjoy the cola flavor without the sugar overload is to switch to Pepsi Zero Sugar or another no-sugar cola, which lets you keep the taste while cutting daily sugar. If you'd rather skip some of the additives, you can look for craft colas made with natural flavors and simpler caramel coloring, or just stick to smaller cans for built-in portion control. For an even lighter option, rotate with sparkling water and a squeeze of lime to get the same bubbles and tang without the sugar or dyes. And at home, you can pour regular cola over plenty of ice and top it with plain seltzer, a half-and-half mix that saves the flavor but slashes the sugar in every glass. Pepsi shows how a trusted brand can carry hidden trade-offs: color byproducts, sugar load, and acidity. Europe's tighter limits on color byproducts send a clear signal: keep the look, lower the risk. If the safe classic isn't as simple as it seems, what about its biggest rival? Next, we'll see how Coca-Cola handles the same caramel coloring, and why the European approach changes the picture again. Brand number 4. Coca-Cola. Coke is the definition of safe classic. Red label, familiar taste. It's the drink people serve at birthdays, ball games, and backyard cookouts. That trust runs deep. But once you look at what gives Coke its color and sweetness, you can see why Europe and the US take slightly different paths. Start with the look. Coca-Cola gets its deep brown color from caramel color, made by heating sugars. Some styles of caramel color, often called Class 3/4, can form small amounts of a byproduct called 4-MEI during processing. In the US, caramel color is allowed as long as it meets federal limits. In Europe, the color classes and manufacturing steps are more tightly controlled. and regulators keep a close eye on potential byproducts. The result is the same idea: brown cola, but with stricter oversight on how the color is produced. Over the years, pressure from consumer groups, state rules, and global standards pushed big brands to keep 4MEI as low as possible. The goal is simple: keep the look without extra risk. Now, the sweetness. A standard US bottle or can of regular Coke carries a heavy load of added sugar. The CDC links frequent sugary drink intake with weight gain, type 2 diabetes, and heart disease over time. Europe's sugar taxes and reformulation pushes mean many markets sell lower sugar options and smaller default sizes. Another difference: US Coke often uses high fructose corn syrup, while many European versions use sucrose table sugar. Sweet is sweet, but daily habits add up fast. Acidity plays a role too. Coke uses phosphoric acid for that sharp, clean bite. It's approved in both the US and EU, but if your dentist has warned about tooth enamel, or your doctor is watching bone or kidney health, it's smart to track total cola intake. Some varieties may also use sodium benzoate as a preservative, more common in diet versions. It's permitted on both sides of the Atlantic, yet Europe tends to keep a tighter rein on how additives appear together in the final drink. Who's most at risk? Daily cola drinkers who don't factor in sugar or acidity. Families who keep multi-packs in the fridge within easy reach. And anyone working on weight, blood sugar, or heart health goals. If that's you, talk with your doctor about what fits your needs. Safer swaps if you love the Coke profile. A safer way to enjoy Coke without the sugar overload is to switch to Coke Zero Sugar, or another no-sugar cola, which keeps the taste while cutting out the daily sugar hit. You can also control portions by choosing smaller cans, or even pour regular Coke over ice and top it with plain seltzer to dilute the sugar in each glass. If you're looking for fewer additives, some craft colas use natural flavors and simpler coloring systems, offering a cleaner option. And for an easy everyday swap, you can rotate in sparkling water with a squeeze of lime to get the bubbles and bite you're used to, without the sugar. Coca-Cola shows how a safe classic can carry hidden trade-offs: color byproducts, sugar load, and acidity. Europe's tighter guardrails don't kill the cola. They just shape how it's made and sold. And if the crown jewel cola isn't as simple as it seems, what about the 23-flavor icon people treat as a fun alternative? Next up, Dr. Pepper, and how color and preservatives can team up in ways most shoppers never notice. Be honest, after hearing this, would you still drink Coke every day? Or would you cut back? Drop your answer in the comments and hit that subscribe button, because we break down new food investigations daily. Brand number 5, Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper feels like a fun twist on cola. Smooth, a little spiced, and different enough to feel special. People choose it because it's not just another cola. It's the 23-flavor icon with a loyal fan base. That trust makes it a regular pick for movie nights and road trips. But the same things that make it taste and look the way it does also raise questions, especially when you compare US rules with Europe's tighter approach. First, the color. Like many dark sodas, Dr. Pepper uses caramel color for that deep brown look. Some types of caramel color, often class 3/4, can produce tiny amounts of a byproduct called 4MEI during processing. In the US, caramel color is allowed if it meets federal limits. In Europe, regulators push for stricter controls on how caramel color is made and how much byproduct can end up in the drink. Over time, pressure from watchdog groups and state rules has nudged big brands to keep 4MEI as low as possible. The idea is simple: keep the signature color, cut the risk. Now, preservatives. Certain Dr. Pepper varieties may use sodium benzoate to help keep the drink shelf stable. It's permitted in both the US and EU. But here's where context matters. When benzoate shows up in formulas with vitamin C, ascorbic acid, and high heat or light, it can form benzene, a known contaminant. That's why manufacturers and regulators watch these combinations closely. Europe tends to apply a precautionary approach, pushing companies to design formulas and supply chains that reduce those risks up front. Sweetness is the other piece of the puzzle. A standard bottle of Dr. Pepper, like other regular sodas, can carry a heavy load of added sugar. The CDC links frequent sugary drink intake to higher risks of weight gain, type 2 diabetes, and heart disease over time. One can isn't the whole story. The daily habit is. If Dr. Pepper is your go-to pick-me-up, those grams add up fast. Some European markets, helped by sugar taxes and reformulation goals, lean into lower sugar versions and smaller default sizes. In the US, higher sugar recipes are common unless you choose a diet or zero sugar option. Who's most at risk? Daily drinkers who don't account for sugar and acidity. Families who keep multi-packs in easy reach. Anyone working on blood sugar, weight, or heart health goals. And people who sip dark sodas all day, which can stress tooth enamel. If any of that sounds like you, talk with your doctor about what fits your health plan. Safer swaps if you love the Dr. Pepper vibe. Choose zero sugar or diet versions to keep the taste without the sugar. If you want simpler labels, look for craft sodas that use natural flavors and promise careful caramel color sourcing. Pour over lots of ice or pick smaller cans to cut portions. You can also build a lighter at-home mix, half Dr. Pepper, half plain seltzer. The flavor stays, the sugar drops. And between sodas, rotate sparkling water with a squeeze of cherry or lime to hit the same flavor notes without dyes or preservatives. Dr. Pepper shows how a fun alternative can carry the same hidden trade-offs as the big colas. Caramel color byproducts, preservatives with context, and a serious sugar load. If a flavor icon needs a second look, what about the sports drink many people hand to kids after practice? Up next, Gatorade Orange. Why bright colors and hydration branding don't always mean a safer choice. Brand number 6, Gatorade Orange. Gatorade feels like the healthy soda. You see it on the sidelines, at kids' games, and in gym bags. People trust it because it's sold as hydration. But the US version of Orange Gatorade still carries a few issues Europe handles differently. The bright color often comes from yellow 5 and yellow 6, synthetic dyes that Europe restricts or replaces with natural sources like beta-carotene. And while it's marketed as a sports drink, a 20-ounce bottle can load you up with over 30 grams of sugar. That's fine if you just ran a marathon, but most people drink it while sitting or watching a game. The CDC links that kind of daily sugar intake with weight gain, diabetes, and heart problems. Electrolytes are the good part. Sodium and potassium help replace sweat losses. But if you're not exercising hard, the extra sodium and acids may do more harm than good, especially for teeth and blood pressure. So, what's a safer move? Choose Gatorade Zero or other no-sugar electrolyte drinks for casual use. For a cleaner label, look for versions with natural colors. On regular days, stick to plain water with a squeeze of citrus. And for real heavy workouts, use powders or tablets where you control sugar and color. Gatorade shows us that sports on the label doesn't always mean safe. Europe forced changes. We can make smart swaps, too. Quick question, if your kid grabbed a Gatorade after practice, would you hand it over or think twice now? Share your take below. And don't forget, we post brand new investigations every single day. So subscribe and stay tuned for tomorrow's breakdown. Safer swaps and smarter shopping. After looking at these 6 sodas, one theme stands out. The US often allows dyes, sugars, and additives that Europe restricts or forces brands to reformulate. But the good news is, safer swaps are everywhere. You just need to know what to look for. For citrus soda lovers, like Mountain Dew fans, swap to sparkling lemon-lime waters or naturally flavored citrus sodas with no artificial dyes. You still get the fizz and bite without the yellow 5 or yellow 6. For fruit soda drinkers, like Fanta Orange, check labels for brands that use natural colors, like beta-carotene or paprika extract instead of red 40 or yellow 6. A quick squeeze of real orange into sparkling water works just as well at home. For cola drinkers, Pepsi and Coke, try zero-sugar versions to cut daily sugar without losing flavor. Or explore craft colas made with cane sugar and simpler caramel coloring. Smaller cans are also an easy way to enjoy cola in moderation. For fans of spiced sodas, like Dr. Pepper, look for diet or zero-sugar options or choose craft sodas with shorter ingredient lists. Mixing half soda and half seltzer at home instantly reduces sugar while keeping the taste. For sports drink users, like Gatorade, save the high-sugar versions for intense workouts. On normal days, stick with Gatorade Zero, electrolyte waters, or plain water with citrus. If you want control, powders and tablets let you adjust sugar and color to your needs. And one more tip, always check labels for dyes and preservatives. Many US brands now highlight no artificial colors or made with natural flavors. That quick check can help you spot the safer version. Simple swaps don't mean giving up soda or flavor. They mean choosing versions that are closer to what Europe already demands, and what your body will thank you for later. Before we wrap up, this isn't about quitting soda forever. It's about knowing what's inside and making simple swaps. Europe forces brands to cut dyes and sugar, and we can do the same by choosing better versions here. The danger isn't one can at a party. It's the daily habit. Picking a zero-sugar option, checking for natural colors, or even mixing with seltzer can make soda safer without losing the fun. Food and drinks should bring comfort, not concern. And with small changes, they can. So now, I want to hear from you. Which soda on this list surprised you the most? Do you still keep any of these in your fridge? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because your feedback helps others shop smarter too. And if you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to hit subscribe. Here on BizWorld Explorer, we post new investigations every single day, uncovering the hidden truths behind everyday food brands. Make sure you don't miss tomorrow's video. It might just change the way you look at something in your kitchen.